Hello, my name is Aubrey, and today I'm doing my June wrap-up. June was an okay reading month for me. I definitely didn't get as much reading done as I wanted to, but I read some pretty good books. I had a couple of fun surprises. I have 4 books and a half to talk to you guys about today. So let's just get into it. The first book that I want to talk about is Later by Stephen King. This was the first book that I read in the month, and I kind of read it on a whim. It wasn't on my TBR, but I just was really feeling it. Katrina Brown, who is another booktuber, had read it recently, and she was really raving about it, and my boyfriend had read it and recommended it to me. So I think I was just, I don't know, really in the mood for it. So I decided to try out the audiobook. It was only 5 hours long, and I just ate this book up. I enjoyed it so much. I thought that the story and the characters and the narration were all just really compelling and enjoyable. It was really frightening at times. Like the narrator would do these very scary voices for some of the characters, and I was genuinely freaked out for certain portions of the book. Overall, I was just really impressed with Stephen King's writing and the fact that he is in his 70s and he is just still such a good writer. I have a full review for this book on my channel. If you're interested, I can link it below. But yeah, I really liked it, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. Next, I read The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. If you've been following my channel, if you've been following my wrap-ups, you'll know that I was not super impressed with the Poppy War or the Dragon Republic. I thought they were okay. I gave them both 3 stars respectively. I thought that they had potential. There were things that I really enjoyed about them, and then things that I absolutely hated about them. I know this is a well-loved series. I know so many people love this series. You know, I was really hoping that this last book was gonna save it for me, because, you know, I really wanted to be on this train, you know? But unfortunately, I just thought this book was a complete mess, and just so much wasted potential. I feel like R.F. Kuang just has these really cool and really compelling ideas that she has no idea what to do with. And so, you know, over and over we get introduced to these plot lines and relationships that just seem so interesting and intriguing. And then, you know, every time those things just get sidelined, wrapped up too quickly, or they never fully come to fruition. I mean, I don't know. The main character doesn't have any kind of arc. Really, I personally feel like she is just the exact same character that she was from page 1 of the Poppy War, and I just would get so frustrated and upset every time that Rin felt inconsistent, and she is frequently just deeply inconsistent. And, you know, one of the most glaring issues that I have is that in the Poppy War at the academy, she is supposed to be this really smart strategist. She does really well in her war strategy class, and the professor picks her at the end of the year to be one of his pupils. And whoever that Rin is, the incredible strategist, we never get to see her. You know, in actual war, when it comes to the battlefield, she just is completely reactionary. She never thinks things through. She never makes the right decision. She just always seems to do the most reactionary, the most aggressive thing. And it's just very frustrating, because it's well, you set up your character to be this thing that then she never gets to be. And it just felt like that was the case over and over again with her. And I just felt like she never learned anything. She never grew as a character, nor did I feel like she ever fully fell as a character either. I think she was always kind of selfish and mean and almost narcissistic, just again from the beginning. It's not like we're watching a good person who gets corrupted by war. It's like we're watching a bad person just being allowed to be an even worse person because of war. And so I don't know, I could just never fully grasp Rin as a character, who she was and what was motivating her. I just found her a totally unlikable, insufferable character. And then, you know, again, unfortunately, I just think that there were so many characters and plot lines and things that were set up that just never sort of got fully realized. Like, I think she did the psych dirty. I think she did Najah dirty. She did Master Zhang dirty. She did the trifecta dirty. Like, I just think there was so much potential in some of these ideas that were ultimately really disappointing. So I'll just say that I was really glad by the end of this that I was not actually like emotionally invested in this series, because I would have been so upset with this last book. And as it was, I was just kind of like, what a waste, you know, just kind of like, meh. But, you know, I think if I had loved the Poppy War and the Dragon Republic, I would have been like very upset with this book. I just feel like there are so many promises that the author makes in the previous two books that just she doesn't deliver on. And again, like, if I had been a fan of the first two books, I would have hated this book. And as it was, I just neutrally really didn't like it. So yeah, I gave this 1 star. I don't know if that's too harsh or not. It's more just like in relation to how much I enjoyed the other books. This is a 1 star. Like, if I enjoyed the Poppy War 3 stars worth, like, I enjoyed this 1 star worth. So I hope that makes sense. I'm really sorry if this is your favorite trilogy and you love this book. That's totally fine. These did not work for me. Next, I read Come Tumbling Down by Seanan Mcguire. This was book 5 in the Wayward Children series. This was another somewhat disappointing book. I enjoyed it. I always enjoy Seanan Mcguire's writing, but I just think that I am not enjoying the sequel books as much as I'm enjoying the prequel books. So far, Down Among the Sticks and Bones, book 2, and In an Absent Dream, book 4, have both been prequels, and Beneath the Sugar Sky and Come Tumbling Down have both been sequels. So they happen, you know, after the events of the first book, Every Heart a Doorway. And I just, yeah, so far of those two, I just am not enjoying them as much. I think the problem is that there are just too many characters that she's trying to give attention to in this, like, you know, teeny weeny little novella, whereas with the prequels we're really just following maybe 1 or 2 characters and focusing on them and their kind of exploration of this very cool world. So I felt like the attention was a little bit too divided among the characters. And then I also was just kind of disappointed with the ending of Jack and Jill's story. I was just kind of expecting more, you know, from their conclusion. And I don't know that this is forever their conclusion, but it sure seemed like it was. Down Among the Sticks and Bones so far has been my favorite of the whole series. And so I really like Jack and Jill, and I really like not only their world, but like their dynamic as sisters and this kind of antagonistic thing that they have going on between each other. And so I just was kind of hoping for more from this. And I guess I was kind of hoping for more of a redemption arc for one of the characters. I won't say which one. And I know, like, she's done some bad things, but I just was kind of hoping for a little bit more redemption from her and reconciliation between the two sisters. So I don't know. I don't know quite what I wanted exactly, but this didn't quite fill those expectations, I guess. But it was still good. Like, it was still pretty good. I gave it 3 stars. Again, I really love Seanan Mcguire's writing, and I think even if she has like a 1-star plot, not saying that this book had a 1-star plot, but even if she had like a 1-star plot, I think her books would still get like at least a 3-star from me, just because how much I love her writing. I thought this one was just okay, but I am still excited for the rest of the series. I really need Cade to have his own prequel. Like, I can't believe that she hasn't written Cade a prequel. He's one of my favorite characters, and I like need him to have a prequel. Anyway, next I read A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent by Marie Brennan, and this was just a really pleasant surprise. I went into this feeling like I'm either really gonna love this or it's gonna be super stuffy and boring, and I was actually really taken with it. I thought that it was really nicely done. I like this character of Lady Trent, and I like this sort of alternative Victorian London setting. I like, this like study of dragons. It is this very, somewhat realistic portrayal of what dragon naturalism would look like and how real world scientists would like interact with dragons and study dragons. So, I do not think that this book is for everyone. If you are looking for a dragon fantasy where you ride the dragons or interact with the dragons, talk to dragons, or dragons talk to you, there's some kind of magic connection with the dragons, like it's nothing like that. It's like if dragons really existed, we would study them like we would study any kind of dangerous wild animal, like lions and gorillas and leopards, like those kinds of animals. You would keep your distance. You would study them from afar. You might even have to kill a specimen in order to dissect it and study it further. And it just seemed like such an original and cool take on dragons. And as someone who really likes science and specifically biology, this just was really cool and really fun for me to read. So I enjoyed it a lot. I don't think it's for everyone, but if any of that sounds good to you, you might really, really enjoy this. Another perk for these books is that they have really cool illustrations. So yeah, I really liked this. I will be continuing on with the series. I gave this 4 stars. And the last book I have to talk about is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I have not finished it. I still have probably 200 pages left. I have struggled with this one similar to how I struggled with Six of Crows. I just find the beginnings of these books so slow. This one has definitely picked up faster than Six of Crows did, but still I feel like it takes about 200 pages to really get going. And I just find that trudge a little bit frustrating. But yeah, I am still, making my way through it. Things have started to get good, so I think I will finish this relatively quickly. I just didn't finish it in June. My boyfriend and I started watching Friends, the show Friends. I'd never watched it. Like, I've seen episodes of Friends, but I've never, sat down and watched the show. And so he'd seen it before, and we started watching it together. And I'm totally hooked. So I have been watching too much Friends and not doing enough reading. But yeah, I will hopefully finish this soon. I love these characters so much, and so I am enjoying it when I'm reading it. I don't know, I find them so hard to pick up for some reason. I don't know what my problem is, but Crooked Kingdom, enjoying it so far. Okay, that is it for my June wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what your favorite book from June was. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I hope to see you next time.